This is the Arkreen Network PowerPoint. The first section discusses the why of the Arkreen Network. We discuss the reason and purpose of why it was developed. Arkreen is an infrastructure-level project and is destined to be completed over a long-term journey of discovery and enrichment for the network. Let's focus in on the mission and vision of Arkreen to highlight its original goal to create real innovation. Indeed, inspiring products must travel through the trough of disillusionment before reaching the path of genius. The Arkreen Network is an infrastructure powered by the evolution of Web3. It provides a platform to interconnect and monetize globally distributed clean and renewable energy equipment, intending to help reduce carbon emissions. The what of the Arkreen Network can be explained in a straightforward sentence on this slide. However, the logic behind the motivational path to why is actually split into three different answers. To answer the questions posed for the three whys, we first ask why we use Web3 methodology, then why we would wish to connect distributed renewable energy equipment resources, and finally, why we need to reduce carbon emissions. By answering these questions, we will unravel the mission and vision of the Arkreen Network's existence. Why Web3? Arkreen is not a typical Web3 native or crypto native application. Arkreen is Web3 driven yet integrated into Web 1 and Web 2. We chose to adopt Web3 as Arkreen's key pillar because we saw a new trend emerging for the construction of global infrastructure powered by the Web3 method. We paid particular attention to the rise of Helium Network, a textbook of Web3-enabled global infrastructure construction. Helium was very disruptive by adopting Web3 economics to construct its global IoT network in 2017. They abandoned the traditional startup mentality and instead employed a token incentive mechanism to motivate ordinary people worldwide to participate in network construction by transforming themselves into network builders and stakeholders. This business model offers a benchmark and footprint for the operation of proof of physical work. Over the past 3 years, Helium Foundation deployed nearly 1 million IoT hotspot miners around the world, which is the most extensive coverage IoT network to date. This achievement was accomplished at almost zero investment cost with only around 30 employees, while the network covers more than 7,300 cities in 180 countries. Web3 and Web2 companies like Sigfox, Ericsson, and Alibaba all planned to build such a global IoT network, but they all failed by the astounding cost and the long-term payoff range. Web3 showcases a solid solution for infrastructure construction, especially for the global physical infrastructure, because everyone can join the network construction in a decentralized manner. This eliminates the obstacle effect of government regulation and huge sunk costs so that global individuals can coordinate together on a massive scale. This topographical map, shown in green, illustrates the dense cluster of IoT network devices built and deployed by Helium around the globe. The magenta colored USA map topography map coverage shows above details of the 5G network launched by Helium in 2022. This deployment took only half a year to achieve, and this spurred T-Mobile of Bellevue, Washington State, to negotiate with Helium to build out the 5G coverage jointly. Led by helium, we believe the Web3-enabled global infrastructure is expected to be the most extensive narrative of the next bull market. In 2022, inspired by helium, a few trailblazers are exploring the POPW, Proof of Physical Work continent. HiveMapper is building a global dashcam mapping system for every car on the road. Dymo is building the global vehicle data monetization system by deploying data connector devices to each vehicle owner. PlanetWatch is building a global air quality monitoring system by deploying air quality sensors to individuals. This trend is gathering more and more momentum, with POPW leading the building infrastructure in different industries. Web3-enabled infrastructure is a paradigm shift for building crypto-incentive physical infrastructure. In theory, compared to Web 1, Web3 offers a disruptive solution for network bootstrapping in an order of magnitude of lower cost, lower complexity, and higher speed. Compared with Web 2, Web3 world provides more excellent economic value because Web3 builds new economies, while Web 2 only builds traditional companies. The flywheel flow chart on this page is an analytical model typically used by the likes of analysts such as Mr. Chris Dixon of the A16Z and Mr. Jassy of Variant Capital. This diagram represents the economic flywheel model of the Arkreen Network. In the upper left, you will note we have designed a POC, proof of capacity model, to motivate miners to join the network. As more and more miners join the network, Arkreen gradually experiences a scaling effect and increases economic value. To incentivize the growth of our model, Arkreen Network will provide grants to encourage entrepreneurial teams to build applications on the Arkreen Network. Based on the service fee paid by applications, a new external income will be provided to network builders, which will further encourage more builders to participate in the network. The ultimate goal is to offer a monetization platform globally for owners of distributed clean and renewable energy equipment who are not currently enjoying these added value services. We genuinely wish to encourage them so they will want to jump on board. From the three scenarios shown in the diagram above, the first example shows that AT&T is a Web 1 era behemoth with a top-down model where the benefits of ownership are clearly only rewarded to a network of shareholders. Airbnb, in the second example, shows a typical Web 2 company. Its network construction model is bottom-up, but the benefit seekers of the network are still its shareholders. Incubated directly from a Web3 world, a third example, the Arkreen Network, is building its network from a bottom-up process. At the same time, the value holders of the network are the builders and users of the network. Infrastructure built from the Web 1 environment requires enormous investment and will create monopolistic characteristics for that company culture. The Web 2 environment does build a global infrastructure and reduce construction investment, but it will also bring about the problem of monopolistic behavior in its corporate culture. A global infrastructure enabled by a Web3 environment avoids the problems of huge investment and monopolistic tendencies internally. Why does Arkreen pursue the energy field as its go-to-market strategy? On the one hand, the energy sector brings about 75% of the global greenhouse gas emissions, with urgency to promote carbon neutrality in this sector. Now, opening up the other hand reveals that the global energy field is facing a new round of fundamental structural changes. Concerning several disruptive energy changes in the past few hundred years, it is conceivable that the energy industry will bring substantial investment opportunities worth trillions of dollars. Why distributed energy? Renewable energy resources are believed to be the path to the pot of gold to achieve energy carbon neutrality. However, most of these projects focus on constructing centralized wind power and photovoltaic power plants. The reality is that if we want more centralized, clean, and renewable power to be connected to the grid, we need to have more distributed, clean, and renewable energy equipment connected to the grid. These two segments for renewable energy resources are interdependent. Therefore, it is necessary to encourage and connect more distributed, clean, and renewable energy equipment. But this is a very fragmented and long-tailed market to expect things to evolve naturally. It's also impossible actually, to just rely on centralized entities for change, given that connecting these types of equipment globally would be non-economically efficient. If we review this long-tail model in the diagram above, the connection is the core catalyst driving the distributed renewable energy market. And Arkreen can provide universally adaptable hardware to economically connect these pieces of renewable energy equipment to the network. With Web3 methodology and IoT connectivity, the Arkreen Network can enable this long but also flat tail market to kick off brilliantly. Why carbon reduction? Why should we be paying any attention to carbon neutrality? Climate change and carbon neutrality are a global consensus. And these are the few common sense things that currently exist among the majority of the countries. Hence, Arkreen will face the least misunderstanding and regulation intervention troubles. In fact, carbon reduction is a very mature market with plenty of research and science education. But it currently lacks viable solutions due to the inefficiency of governing public goods in a traditional manner. As the whole world is transitioning into the metaverse, more devices are digitized, which means resources can be managed with digital tools. Previously, public goods like climate benefits could be managed with digital tools. Arkreen offers a universal, inclusive, and renewable solution for carbon reduction in the energy sector, powered by Web3 theory and meant to include the entire planet. I hope I have clearly visualized the purpose of Arkreen Network and what makes it a Web3 native. Mainly, it focuses on the growth of distributed energy resources and carbon reduction applications. I believe our answers to the previous three questions give you a complete picture highlighting the birth of Arkreen Network. Being an infrastructure as a service creation for data, we are helping ease the transition to renewable energies. In summary, Arkreen is harnessing renewable energy resources to help rejuvenate the planet.